Hi everyone, Aldbar here. This is my solo walkthrough and guide to the level 18 heroic raid Hound of Xoriat on the elite difficulty. Enjoy. Hi everyone, Warjack here. This quest is located in the marketplace right next to the Subterrane. The heroic version of this quest, you must walk up to the quest by going through the Subterrane, and that walk is probably as long, if not longer, than actually just doing the raid. So here we go. First thing you need to do is drop in and go to the right. There are a few locked doors in this area that can only be opened if you first kill the mobs that spawn right next to it. And the same goes for some of the runes over here. Not all, but some of them. There'll be monsters that spawn right next to it you must kill before you can move on. This raid is actually relatively easy to solo. However, I don't recommend you start practicing on the heroic version. If you want to learn how to solo Hound of Xoriat, I strongly recommend you start by trying to do the legendary version on normal. It is way easier than doing the heroic version on elite or even on normal, simply because if you mess up, you won't have to start by rerunning through the Subterrane. Once we get through the first portal, we're going to go left. It is possible to go right and jump around the wall, but this is the official way. Trust me, this is the better way to go. Go left and stick to the left. And you're heading towards a mark on the wall. There's a portal over there. It's very easy to miss it, but there's a rune right next to the portal that activates it. Here we're going to go right, and from here on out, we'll be facing a whole bunch of beholders and stuff. So one of my strong recommendations for anybody who's planning on soloing this quest is, if you really want to do it without suffering and get to learn how to do it properly without feeling resentment towards this quest / raid, make sure you have negative level immunity. There's a few different ways you can get it up. You can look it up in the wiki. You can either get it as part of your epic destinies, who's my recommended way, or you can get it through filigrees. But you want to have permanent immunity to negative levels. This will make the whole process much less painful. Yeah. Once we got to this part, we're looking for a few runes. There's on the bottom floor, there's 2 runes will open up a gate, and then on the top floor, there's 2 runes will open up a gate. And I'm just going to run around over here and click select next until I find the 2 runes on the bottom floor. Probably stay away from those chaos orbs. They can kind of mess you up. Here, found 1 rune. And I need 1 more on this bottom floor so I can move on to the top floor. See what I meant about running into beholders? If you got immunity to negative levels, it will be much less painful. Now I know you can just use Greater Restoration and get rid of negative levels, but trust me, it will wear on your nerves. Yeah, here's the lock gate. We still need to find 1 extra rune on this bottom floor. There we go, found it. The location is random, so you can have to keep on looking for it every time. There's another reason why soloing this quest on Legendary is much easier. You won't have to deal with this nonsense of going through this part and like redoing this part of the flagging every time you accidentally mess up. I think this is a good time to point out that I am standing on other people's shoulders. I haven't figured out how to do this quest by myself. I have learned from others, and two special shoutouts I would like to give to two people who individually helped me with preparing for this. The first one is named Kaluan from the Orion server. He met me up and we corresponded about how it would be possible to solo Hound of Xoriat in a way that would be feasible for everybody to do it without having some kind of special build. And he tried out many of my suggestions and ran it and collected a whole bunch of data for me that I used later to devise a plan that should be accessible to everyone. So all the advice I'm giving you is based on information that I needed to have collected, and I want to thank him for collecting that information. Before the second shout out, this floor also has 2 runes on it. Same story, run around, find the 2 runes, and that will open up the path. The second shout out I need to make to is my good buddy Yeshon, who's the one who actually came and practiced this quest with me, so I could get in and have some support rather than having to do it all by myself. So this can be very frustrating the first time when you're not exactly sure what you need to be doing. And I've actually done this a whole bunch of times with people in groups, and the vast majority of the time people have no clue what they're doing, and it's just a bunch of confusion and nonsense going on. So being able to do it with one person who would give me some stability and let me practice properly is essential. So thank you to him, and yeah, let's continue with this when you find the second rune and move on. Yep, you can see the door is locked. There's a big black barrier. Okay, here we go. Found the second rune. That barrier behind, that portal behind us leads deeper into the subterrane. It's not where we need to go though. We need to go through this big locked portal over here. Here we got a whole bunch of trash to kill. Killing the trash will open up the way. Also stepping through this portal, the same thing will happen. There'll be a bunch of trash we need to kill in order to open up the way.
Clear, the madness aperture appears.
You can grab the shrine here, but there's one very soon after this. Here we've got this like X-shaped room, and each one of them got a beholder and a bunch of flesh renders. You need to kill everything in order to get out of here. So go after the beholders. Flesh renders will trail after you. Again, I'm just reinforcing what I said a few times before. If you're planning on soloing this, please make sure you have some way of getting negative level immunity. It will save you a lot of headaches. It's something that you can easily spec into by using a few action points. It will cost you some plat, and once you're done with soloing the quest, you can just spend it back wherever you're used to before. Yeah. Now we've cleared out all the rooms, we can step back out, and it sends us out to a different place. And this sends us, well, to the entrance of the raid.
The beholder hermit here seems...
We've got this hermit beholder we can talk to. A lot of blah blah blah. Basically explains what's going on, I think. I haven't bothered to read it, but, well, knock yourself out if you want. Yeah, and while you're at it, if you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Okay, well, here we go. Stepping in and moving forward will hit the first part of the cutscene, but it's not going to activate everything in the quest yet.
A terrible roar echoes through the caverns.
To activate everything in the quest, you have to cross the center line of this quest. There'll be mind flayers just spawn in these corners, but they won't spawn until you cross the center over here.
Shrieks and snarls erupt around you. They know you're here.
Now you must kill these mind flayers in order to get a stone. This stone is a clicky that you can use to cast summon monster on the little pups, the dogs, the small Xoriat hounds. And our objective is to charm them into attacking, well, the mother pup, so the mother dog, whatever, hound. So basically we're going to run around and collect these, kill these mind flayers and collect the stones. I only need 3 because there's only 3 dogs. You can collect all 4 and then have an extra one just in case, but we'll see how this goes. Now mind you that the amount of time that they're charmed will determine how long they'll be attacking the mother hound. On normal and hard, you can easily do this in 1 round. Anyone can do this in 1 round. On elite and above, you will not be able to do it in 1 round unless you have some way to seriously buff up the dogs, because their damage is simply not enough. Another reason why I keep on going on about trying to have immunity to negative levels is because if this quest goes on for too long, loads of beholders will start spawning in, making this really, really, really hard to complete. Anyway, I've got all 4 stones. I really don't need them. Now, this is not a perfect square, this room, and the best place to fight the hound is actually not right in the middle, but a little bit off to the side, down this hallway. Okay, it's off the center. It's more in the center of the actual map versus the center of the crossways. Okay, that makes sense. I'm just looking for the 3rd pup. I need all 3. Now, I will be showing the setup that is required for anybody who wants to solo this raid. You don't have to have any special character for it. I've done a whole bunch of changes to my build, basically all in the epic destinies, basically, so everybody has access to it. You don't have to be a specific class in order to do a solo run of this quest. I'll be showing that soon. Anyway, so I've got them on my hotbar. Now I need to select the pups one by one and click on the stones. Try to do this as fast as possible because they will probably aggro on each other and waste time attacking each other versus attacking the hound. Yeah, once I've got all 3 of them charmed, I can hit them with any buffs I have and, well, let them just do their job. They go to town. Now they're going to attack Zizi. If you noticed, when I try to attack Zizi, she takes no damage. She is completely immune to my damage. So the only way to damage her is by having the little pups attack her. I've got an ongoing healing effect, who's automatically healing me. And there's other things, like the primordial scream, that I'm also using to heal, but you don't have to have it. Mind you, on heroic, this is harder, since the pups are not red named, and they can easily die if you hit them accidentally before they're charmed. This is another reason why I strongly recommend trying to do this on legendary, because on legendary, the pups are red named. They have way more hit points, and they die much slower, so you don't accidentally hit them with 1 single swipe. Yeah, but for now, I basically need them to attack him to get down to like 20 or 30%, I don't know. And there'll be a DM text that pops up. Will give me an indication of, well, when I have won. Yeah, now it's the waiting game. I would rather if she did move down the hallway a bit, but since I've got no intimidate and I have no way of moving her, I can't do that. Also, if I could intimidate her, I could stand with, basically position her in such a way that her back is towards the pups, in which case they will get some flanking damage, who's just a small advantage to their DPS.
Acidic blood drips from Zizi's wounds. She is showing signs.
Basically, the first DM text that pops up is like her midway, the half point. Yeah, I can see I've got like 50 more seconds on the charm before it runs out. There used to be ways to fudge this raid with some very powerful epic destiny abilities that would damage Zizi. It used to be that ZZ just had a damage reduction of 1000. And this was before Epic Destinies came out. And then when Epic Destinies came out, people showed up with Fear of the Wild using a bow and damaged her for a few thousand per shot and just cut her down really fast. Then there was Tsunami and there's a whole bunch of other abilities that bypassed all of her damage. Well, as you can see, the dogs are losing their charm, and it's time for me to run around and farm, well, more stones. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of monsters who have all popped up, and now I've got beholders running around. Now, the real danger of the beholders in this quest is they can dispel magic. Why is that so dangerous? Well, they dispel the magic that charms the pups, freeing them. Now, these beholders, these mind flayers don't respawn very fast. So if they uncharm them, you're going to have to wait for a fair amount of time before you can pick up another stone. Basically, the time that it takes for the stone to run out is about the same amount of time that it will take for the mind flayers to respawn. I already picked up one stone before, so technically I've got enough, but hey, I'll just go around and pick up all 4. Mind you, as I said before, if this would have been normal or hard, regardless if this was legendary or normal or heroic, you could finish this boss easily in 1 round. But since I'm doing this on elite, well, it's going to be at least, well, it should be 2 rounds. As long as the dogs don't get uncharmed, it should be 2 rounds. If you're planning on doing it in less than 2 rounds, you're going to need some bard buffs and some really powerful abilities that buff up the dogs significantly. Yeah, now you can see all this trash that comes into the middle. More than the main threat over here is not that it will kill the dogs. If you've got good healing, that's not a problem. It's that they distract the dogs and prevent them from attacking the boss. Once I charm them, I right away have to make sure I'm healing them, or they'll go down really fast and I'll be in trouble. If you do accidentally kill the dogs, they will respawn, but it takes about 5 minutes. Again, making this whole quest much longer. And about 10 minutes after stepping into this quest, you're going to be swarmed by massive elder beholders. And unless you've got immunity to negative levels, you're done for it. I have beaten this quest once past that point when the elder beholder showed up, and it was not fun at all, but it was only beatable because I had immunity to negative levels. Well, cleared all that junk out, and now I've got the pups working their magic, and well, that was lucky. The beholder only attacked and didn't dispel the magic. He didn't get close enough. And now we just have to hope for the best. By the way, this bee attack that keeps on coming out of the Hound will prevent you from casting spells, which can be very oppressive if your healing is active. That's why I've set it up in such a way that the healing should be passive, where, well, the second DM showed up and I finished this quest. There you go. Well, yeah.
The remaining scourge of Xoriat fade into the shadows and
all in all, it's not too hard. I still stand by what I said. If you want to do this for the first time, I strongly recommend you try to run this on Legendary Normal. It is much, much, much easier. At least much, much easier when you're trying to start how to learn how to do it. Again, shout out to Kaluan and to Yeshom for helping me prepare for this. And yeah, I guess you get to see the legendary version when it comes out. Once you finish, do not forget to turn in the quest, or you won't be off timer next time you want to do it. Okay, here's my setup for doing it. I made sure I picked up Primal Scream, and I made sure I got Holy Presence and Epic Destiny Stance from Angelic Form. This gives me my passive auto healing. I took the Angelic Charge so I can move faster when I'm trying to run around. And yeah, from the Shadow Stalker or whatever it's called, this is where I got my ability to be immune immune to energy drain. So these are the 3 key features. Over here you can take the ability that allows your primal scream to also heal. I didn't need to use it, but as I've got plenty of healing, but that's it. These are the key features. Yeah, and that's it. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and good luck. Hope I get to see other people do some solo runs of Hound of Xoriat. Bye.